thinking.
So
it's almost like the computer of you was rebooted.
That's right. That's very good. Never heard that. That's right. It was just rebooted. So I saw, and then the first sound that came out of it, it was laughter. And, it's like, oh, it was just like, looking back on it now, the feeling was like, oh my, I get it. And laughter. Or it was like, oh my gosh, I've just watched nothing become something that can never be anything. It was like that.
Now, did people think you were having a psychotic break?
I don't know what they thought, but I mean, because I frightened them.
So you're in, and the zeal of the newly converted in some capacity. Were you desiring to share it right away? Were you going, no. Oh my God, you're not going to believe what happened to me?
On my first response was no, but it's not true. I would at first I would, my goodness, I was, for example, oh my goodness. People would say, hi, Katie. And I think, why are you pretending? Why are you pretending?
That I'm Katie.
Yeah. Or that you're you. Or, why are you pretending? It's like, and it was kind of like that and not. It was just... it
was like that song, Welcome to the Grand Illusion, right? Yeah. In a way, you sort of stepped into a different reality that kind of was permeated with peace.
Yeah. And I had to be totally re-identified, and because I began to live the dream, because I discovered on my I call it my true nature. My heart, the heart of everything, the nature of everything without exception. And discovering that, it was like love, it was like being born again out of respect for the essence of what it is. And so
what it is to be alive?
What it is
of what it is that we are all sharing the participation in.
Yes.
Right. This whole big game that we're playing called our life, right?
Well, just there's a song, The Power of Love. Just that. And there are other words for it, like God, like
the light,
like real,
authentic.
Authentic. They said that my husband and children were coming, and that was the first moment that I knew I had a husband and children. The first moment I was being identified. And
what was your feeling when they said that?
It's like, oh, here I have a husband and children. And so people started coming in, and I looked, and then this man said, Katie, and I thought, that must be him. That must be my husband. But it was almost like a reintroduction? Yes.
Ah.
Yeah. It's like born in the dream, awake to the dream. And then these children come. I was looking for babies, and here are these three grown beings. Hi, Mom. And I think, well, that one's, And then they said, let's go home. And that's the first time I understood I had a home. It's just, and then...
Okay, now wait, this is a sort of silly question. I'm talking to Byron Katie, just for everybody who's just tuning in. But did people think you had an aneurysm or a stroke? Did people think you had some sort of cognitive brain disorder that was amnesia-based?
Somehow I didn't get locked up. Oh, you know why? I know why. Oh boy, let's see. How do I say this? Like maybe I would leave the house, and I would be sitting in someone's. I haven't told these. I would be sitting in someone's house. I would just walk in because I knew I know who the human race is. I know who we are. I understand that out of my own self.
Right.
And then people would come in and say, hello, and they thought I came with that family member. Hello, until they began to add it up that no one
knew who you were.
And
now, what was the impetus to go into that house?
It was mine.
Your own.
They're all mine.
Yeah.
We own everything. There is nothing separate. We are love itself. That's who we are. I understood it.
Since this mind hit happened, has it ever gone away?
No.
Never.
Never. But I understand how to communicate. That has really shifted. And being married to Stephen Mitchell doesn't hurt either. I mean, just learning to speak out of this so people aren't so frightened or alienated. If it frightens people,
then they reject it.
Then
right?
There's something off with my communication. So and actually long before, the first 3 years, that's what it was all about. It was all about communication and not frightening people, like going through the streets saying, "Why are you pretending not to know me? Why are you,
You would say that out loud to other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They would I'd say there's only one with one finger in the air.
Yeah.
And
one mind, right? One love,
just one, and it was like a mathematical thing happening inside of me. And then it would feel so heavy, Rosie. It would even that was too much. And then I would say, no, there's just this, and my hand would do like a 0, and then even that was too heavy, and so it had to drop, and I had to be quiet because nothing I said was true. So I was teaching. I mean, if I was teaching anything at all, I was teaching an untruth.
Right. So it's interesting. When I left my TV show in 2002. I changed my passcode on every single computer, everything I had, to be still.
Wow.
Because I knew that what I needed to do was to be still, to get almost back into the truth of who I was, right?
Yeah.
It was almost like I was in a swirling tornado and I was becoming an identity that was no longer true.
Yeah.
And I was lost. Right? Mm-hmm. So be still. I kept typing be still. And I thought as I was doing that and meditating and painting for years, really years, and I don't know if I was technically agoraphobic, but I did not like to leave the children and the house.
Yeah.
Or I would just sit and paint. Now, I didn't know how to paint.
Yeah. Wow.
I didn't. I just started throwing stuff and blasting music and trying to marinate myself in quiet internally, which was so hard to do. Then I realized be still, when you type it all as a passcode without a space, also is best ill.
Oh my goodness.
Right. And I thought to myself, now look at this. I have self-injury as a kid. I used to break my own bones, right? So take a little bat that you'd get at baseball bat day at Yankee Stadium, or a wooden hanger from my mother's closet.
Oh my goodness.
I was so used to being ill that I thought I was at my best when I was ill. Be still. And I thought, wow, there has to be a way through this.
Wow, what a being you are.
I don't know about that, because I feel as though I'm on the precipice of something. Like, I honestly do. I feel, and now as I'm preparing to go back into the world of service, which is what it is.
Yeah.
How do I communicate and be the example without getting in my own way?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And when I listen to what you talk about, who you are, how you are in the world, when I see the effect it has on the people in the audience, I know that it's true.
Yeah.
In a way that I have not known before. Yeah. And it's a little bit scary. Yeah. You see people who try to denigrate it, who try to laugh it or not understand it, or feel as though, you or anyone else doing service work for humanity it's a charlatan, it's an act, it's a, as if you're trying to trick people into helping themselves understand their full potential. Yeah. I've felt the effect when situations before would stress me, or now I'm going, okay, what is the thought? Do you really believe that thought? Are you absolutely certain that it's true? How do you feel when you believe that thought? Who would you be without that thought? Turn it around. Like, I find myself doing that. And I find that the 4 questions and the turnaround does do that.
It does. And
how did they come to you? Did they arrive when you were rebooted? Was that a program in you?
In that moment, I opened my eyes, and on the floor, there was nothing. And then the mind hit, and I saw the illusion of life. In other words, what it created, this false creation. So I saw that nothing was true, that mind created it, that prior to that is not that. It's just like essence. And
spirit, if
spirit,
right? Soul in some way.
Soul, beauty, laughter. It's and so there was something. I mean, there was something, then there was nothing, then there was something, and there was something when I went to sleep on the floor, and then the experience, it opened its eyes, and there was nothing. And then the thoughts hit, and then there was something, this world again. So then the laughter. And so that is all 4 questions and the turnaround right there.
From there was nothing to there was something.
So it's not true.
Right.
And so that's, is it true? Is it true? Can you really know that it's true? Was all one question when I first started asking it, and then how do you react when you believe that thought? Well, you've just created the whole world. I mean, you can see it because you've been in the work. Look, you can see it. And then who would you be without it? You look at just prior to believing it.
Well, this is fascinating. It's Rosie O'Donnell talking with Byron Katie right here on Rosie Radio, SiriusXM. Stay tuned. There's more to come. Rosie Radio.
Your SiriusXM.